But now he showed me his phone that, look, this is a conversation I had with them. Isn't this a chat box?
But for it to individually be tracking your health, that doesn't make sense to me.
Welcome to your daily health briefing. I'm Dr. Albert Tackett. This show is here to help you navigate the complex U.S. medical system, one step at a time. Whether you are decoding a new diagnosis, fighting for a referral, or just trying to stay informed, you are in the right place. Let's get into the science. Where the patients have to see a dietitian and then a therapist and all of that. But turns out I have a patient who came and he showed me his phone. It was ChatGPT. Basically, it was a chatbot, an AI app, and then they interact with the AI app and they send in medicine. This is somebody who was getting their monthly counseling from me, and he had lost 60 pounds, quit drinking as well in the process, was seeing Uganda. I sent him to Uganda for, mental health counseling. And turns out the insurance company will not pay for the medication.
Unless he did that.
Unless he went to Noom. Wow. And so when he came to see me, he was already disappointed, dejected, and wanted to stop taking the medicine. And so
even with the weight loss? Even with
the weight loss documented, they wanted him to go through Noom. But now he showed me his phone that, look, this is a conversation I had with them. Isn't this a chat box? And we looked at it. Of course it's a chat box. It's quite definite.
That's nuts.
Absolutely nuts. And now he hadn't had the medicine for 3 weeks. Now, he hadn't requested a refill for 3 weeks, but he finished his last dose like a month prior. And so I had to sit down now and go through this with him. So what do you think is a problem with that situation?
Oh, wow. That's craziness to me. AI bot taking care of you?
Yes.
I can't even believe that that's happening right now. I was just talking about the random clinics where, there's somebody there or whatever. It's all online or, no one's actually doing the monitoring. But this is another level of it now. AI is, sure, it's in the development and it has a lot of potential. I completely understand. I agree. But for it to individually be tracking your health, that doesn't make sense to me. And I always tell my patients as well, these games that these insurance companies play, for whatever reason, the insurance companies, they're not really your friends, You pay a lot of money, and when you need something, you have to go through Noom to get it, They
have a bottom line.
Yeah, and this is big news to me. This is crazy.
So this patient was at the point, at the verge of giving up because of these roadblocks, right? And of course, when he tried to request an increase in the dose, the chat box will tell him, we will get you a refill of your 1 milligram of Wegovy. And he got frustrated. Now, this is a guy who was working with me, had been working with me for 6 months. He changed his life, turned his life around, quit alcoholism, was tracking his days of sobriety.
Yeah.
But when he came to see me, he had gained 6 pounds.
Oh, wow.
All because his insurance company went from being an advocate for his health to being an enemy. But we came to the point where we doctors have to step in. How can we doctors encourage a patient to stay in the fight in a situation like that?
So, again, sometimes you can't overcome some of these kinds of situations, right? What in this situation with your patient, for him to get that medication, what else was he going to do? Because the cost is a big question,
Yes.
for most people. Yeah, that's no joke. Exactly.
$500.
Exactly. That could pretty much be a mortgage. It could be, it could be a lot of different things, right? But that's a lot of money for the average person. I completely understand his frustration and where he's coming from when he realizes that this is a AI bot and he can't even get the right dose, or it can't really do what he needs to talk to a human being. That's what he needs, right? And especially
somebody, please help me.
Right, and another big part of this is look at everything this patient is going through. He alcoholism, severe disease, deadly disease. We see that in the hospital all the time, right? And that's a huge part of his life. That's a massive change, from what he's made, right? my doctor mind automatically goes to, hey, is he dealing with withdrawals as well? Is there other things going on? And here this man who's trying to change his life and improving things in a very difficult way in a situation is confronted by just realizing that, I'm talking to a blank screen. I feel for him, and this is a very unfortunate situation.
Yes.
But this is also why, we need doctors to be doing this kind of stuff, right? Like the insurance companies, they can short circuit, cut corners to save as much money as they can. And perhaps they're probably thinking, hey, look, this AI bot will be black or white, making decisions for patients, right? So like as doctors, we're human, we're compassionate, right? We're empathetic. When we see and hear the stories that we do throughout our career as doctors, it affects you as well. You deal with it with the patient, right? And so
you go the extra mile.
Exactly. And that, even if I know this patient can't get it from this way or that way, I will go out of my way to try to figure out what other things that we can do to work on to try to get it to him. Whereas in his situation here, it's black or white. Hey, no, you're not eligible for this now, or no, you didn't meet the goal, whatever the cases are where he's being denied or they're not giving him the next dose, or, and then there's no one to talk to. So you get even more frustrated, right? So and we've all been in this situation. You call whatever company and you're on the phone with the AI bot or the pre-made voice.
It keeps repeating the same thing.
And you're like, let me talk to somebody, and it's like, please press 1, and you lose your mind. So I completely understand where he's coming from.
And that's exactly where Patrick was.
Exactly.
After that interaction with the AI chatbots on Noom. Yeah. Now, and I say Noom because he showed me specific that conversation. Now, before Noom comes suing me, I'm going to say, caveat, this is a conversation the patient showed me on their phone.
Exactly.
And we deduced that this conversation was AI generated because it seemed to be, it didn't reflect the way artificial. That's the key word. But what I told Patrick was stay in the fight.
Yes.
Don't give up.
Of course.
Because now the insurance company may be well-meaning. Maybe they've deduced that a lot of patients take the medicine without the appropriate lifestyle changes.
Sure.
And many a times we doctors too also drop the ball because many people prescribe the medicine, lend their licenses to unscrupulous clinics. The medicine is prescribed under their license without patients getting the necessary behavioral support.
Absolutely.
And so sometimes the payers, who are the insurance companies, step in and say, well, we're going to fix it. We'll get you a structured environment. But they don't do their due diligence to find out if the contracted companies like Noom or whoever are actually doing what they claim they will do.
Exactly.
So patients suffer. And this is where we as doctors and patient allies step in, tell the patient, don't give up. You keep fighting. Even if it's an AI chatbot, go through it, do what they need, and then come see us. If you need the letter, we'll write the letter to your insurance company and say, increase the dose. Just don't lose the relationship with your doctor because medical necessity still drives health care.
Exactly.
If you need us to write the letter, we will write a very long letter.
An angry one.
An angry one. Telling them, give the patient their medicine, please.
Yeah, every doctor has these horror stories of these insurance situations that they deal with, and they're seeing their patient being denied certain things that, as a physician, they need.
Yes.
And even in this case, for example, this patient who's made a 180 in his life, and so the human aspect that I'm sure you did and do on a regular basis, encouraging him in that way, right? Like, look at the other positives you've made so far. Don't turn this around.
Turn this life around.
Yeah, don't go back to where you were, right? And you sort of help save him from, because you say he gained 6 pounds again because he was losing hope and he's frustrated, and so that human aspect again is what you need, and that's why. This kind of stuff I don't agree with. I don't think we're AI's at that level of making these kinds of decisions, and why we need the human aspect in medicine, because at the end of the day, we're treating humans, not robots.
Awesome. So I'm going to leave the listener and the viewer with what I always tell my patients, and I'm sure you do the same.
Yes.
When insurance companies build a 10-foot wall, we look for a 12-foot ladder.
There you go.
So come talk to us.
Absolutely.
All right. Thank you, Dr.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
This has been the Daily Brief. Medicine is not about certainty. It is about responsibility. Decisions are often made with incomplete information, but they are always made with your safety in mind. In a system that can feel rushed and fragmented, you deserve clarity, continuity, and an advocate who sees the whole picture. I am Dr. Albert Tacken, your physician ally, high-level science, human-level care. I will see you at the next briefing, or I will see you in the clinic.